We are in the 1800s. The social exchange is 1800s. The political race you saw, you didn't do further homework on because it was overstimulating. But once you got full entire umbrella context, it was one side saying, why don't we're spending significantly too much money, we should just kill them now. And another side was saying, like, give it 4 more years. And it's like, we've been saying that, like, oh, let's wait a little bit and then kill them. We should kill them now. So, like, in the 1800s. So, with that being said, like, do you know what was happening in the 1800s? Cannibalism. Yeah, open cannibalism. Things of that magnitude, or things that you could think of that were just like inherently evil. So yeah, people were getting shot in the streets. Like, in fact, there were people like, this is crazy because, like, I don't think people know this, but like, there was a group of people that were assembled together by a group of just like angry ass, like, socially middle class white folks, right? That thought it would be really funny to assemble a group together, hierarchical themselves under what they believe to be indigenous people ranking systems, and then based off of the biblical sense that they taught slaves to, so they dressed up in like sheets and then cut out holes because they thought that it would be funny for like psychologically terrorizing like predominantly black communities under the guise that they believed that God was sending like souls down to smite them in the same capacity of what they would teach to the slaves. It was all a troll. They were rage baiting black people, and it gotten to a point where they thought it would be funny to start killing them. And it was allowed to go on because they thought it was a social difference. And if you see in the context of how other white folks explained it, it was like, we don't even like black. We don't even think they're humans for real. It's not even the fact that we disagree with you. Y'all are just actually wilding the heck out. Do you know how wild you gotta be to scare off people that are like inherently okay? But it's like, nobody wants to see people getting strung out on the streets for no reason. And when you start noticing context and then realize the last major leader of the KKK, whole vibe was, we gotta win. What am I playing? The KKK, last like major known leader, inside of the meeting when he was talking about was legit, the people are stating they don't inherently disagree with us. It is how we are going about advertising our message. What we need to do is start wearing tuxedos, suits, and stuff like that. We need to overall decentralize the movement in an essence of centralizing power explicitly around capital. If we gather capital and influence politics via owning businesses and stuff like that, just say we're not a part of the Ku Klux Klan, then like nobody's inherently gonna stop us for real, but we'll know who we are. We'll signal call to each other. We'll have means of signal calling to each other to let each other know that, hey, we following the same vibe, but we're gonna have to decentralize this shit because if we have an inherent monster that they can directly throw stones at, they're gonna get uncomfortable. The goal at the end of the day is mass influence. It's mass influence. Words, people. Words are very effective. It's just legislation, paperwork. Y'all understand this. Propaganda is just really good right now, bro. Propaganda hitting. Propaganda been hitting. Nobody is you're like, we're like, but what I need people to understand is where we're going. What was happening during the 1800s. That's what's gonna happen. That's the goal. That was peak. It was so peak. They got people to go outside and fight on their behalf on the right to be able to eat people, bro. You saw the statistics. Most of them people in the South could not own slaves. Little Billy Bob was not out selling Thomas Jefferson with his 100 slaves, bro. That's not possible. They're in the same market. What you saw was modern day capitalism at the purest form. Slavery. So yeah, we bringing that back. People is gonna get spilled on college campuses in front of kids, and that sucks. We are being held at gunpoint to play Madden Ultimate Team. And the premise of Madden Ultimate Team is to go on Ultimate Team, get the most highest rated cards with the best abilities, right? And then get a glitch playbook that auto straps every single play on the game. You set the adjustments on your defense to get them in the positions to be able to strap that Jane. And then you play like 3 plays on the offensive side that just auto work that you can kind of audible out of occasionally. But the premise of it is you're supposed to have a glitch play or glitch plays or a glitch playbook. And they're telling us we are going to be cheating. We are going to be doing all of those strats. And if you can't stop it, we will shoot you. And if you don't play, we will shoot you. And your response is, we don't think it's okay people should be playing video games this much and engaging in microtransactions because that could lead to a gambling addiction. This is overall just inherently a bad thing. And they're like, bet. So, are you gonna play the Madden? Like, and your response is, we don't think people should be shooting people. Do you see where that was the mindset the people in the 1800s had? They saw and read Uncle Tom's Cabin and they felt inspired and no, these people didn't like black people. They didn't like minorities. They didn't like indigenous people. They just didn't like the idea of people just going inside of like their neighborhoods and like killing folk in front of their kids, because it's traumatic. It's traumatic to see, and seeing those things in wide-scale communities where it's not regularly shown because other communities might engage inside of the activity, but not in that form. What you're watching is a mass desensitization to get to that point openly everywhere and for it to be acceptable, because that's what they wanted in the 1800s. When they signed the paperwork, that's what they were signing. I don't know how else to word it. I'm just like, we're gonna get to that point. So we need to, I guess, be more strategic. We shouldn't just be wetting people out on the streets if it's not inside of the capacity of what Nepal is doing or something like that. At that point, it is quite literally just senseless violence. I'm not gonna state that I'm inherently sad that that man died, but like, if we're inside of a fascist takeover where guns are completely okay to be everywhere, including schools, we're getting to that point. They're trying to desensitize you. This is why the videos are so accessible. You're not supposed to be able to see that, but you weren't supposed to see Rodney King get beat on by all those police officers. And the rich said, you're right. You weren't supposed to see that. You weren't supposed to know about what was happening during the 1800s. They was eating people, bro. Yeah. If they trying to get it back to that point, your basketball's gonna get a little expensive, and the commissioner is gonna tell you, go watch some highlights. It's a highlight sport anyway, right? Y'all don't watch X's and O's. Y'all say LeBron go donkey. Look at Curry, man, so inspirational. Y'all don't know what the freak y'all watching, right? When the commissioner just starts letting people go outside, you know what I'm saying, and do whatever the heck they want to whoever the freak they want, as long as they average a crazy amount of yards when they touch the field, then they straight. But they've been doing that. Now they're just gonna be more open about it because it's simply too expensive to be capping. It was inevitably gonna get to that point. They were just willing to front end the cost for an extended period of time because they thought that they could have that jam overseas. But overseas is starting to catch up, you know what I'm saying, to what's going on, because they don't have a media system like we do, where we're surrounded by this like jam like all day, every day, because they know we can't guard it. So what's going to happen is everybody's going to eventually isolate themselves and only communicate for real, evolve, and trade. And they're going to be relatively chill. But, like, the U.S. is just going to be a pariah state, gang. And if you inside of certain parts, GG's. That's low-key what it's always been. They just go into the purest form of that, which was in the 1800s. So they're going to be able to fully reach a certain level of capitalism you're not going to comprehend, which is slavery. That's peak capitalism right there. It's like, bro, I'm having a bunch of people run up money on my behalf without me having to really do anything. I can just sit on my butt and they just make money for me. I honestly have full autonomy on whatever they do in their life. I can decide whenever they feel like eating. I can decide whenever they feel like sleeping. I can decide their life. I decide. Me. They have no autonomy. They're not even a person for real. So yeah, get ready, like, go do some push-ups. We're not going past this political point, we're going back. So stop thinking that this whole entire empath, like that empath jam, bro, they literally wrote you a CIA document about how, yeah, bro, they can't guard this. Hit them with some Jesus quotes, they can't guard it. The KKK has quite actually, their new insignia is the American flag in the Bible, bro. They know you can't guard it. They know you can't guard it. So they're just going to speed up the wheel. And Charlie Kirk, yeah, he died. Look where we're at. He got shot. We don't even, there's no semblance of semblance. GG's. We are being held at gunpoint to play Madden, bro. We don't want to play this game. You're telling people video games are inherently not a good thing to be playing. We're still being held at gunpoint. That's the problem.